Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ali Fizuddin from Bachelor International Business, and I'm from Group 2. Wellness, about the introduction, is we pick the PEC 800 about wellness management. Wellness management refer to the practice of activity taking the responsibility for implement strategy to promote overall well-being and optimal health. For the report, in class, Madam has been conducted us two assignment, which is assignment one, we had to do the Zumba dance. And the second assignment, we do the intermittent fasting plan. And next, about the reflection on action. Overall, from what I get in PC 800 wellness management, that each activity gives new knowledge that can be used in future. Moreover, what I can get from this subject is about to enhance and maintain as individual quality of life by focusing on preventive measure and lifestyle choice and self-care practice. And next, about reflection on teaching. I learned a lot from this subject, and this subject conduct all benefit to us, such as Zumba, homework, out, and yoga, Tabata. And also I get learn new thing about activity nutrition, such as cholesterol plan, fasting plan, and diabetic plan, and other more. Other than that, connection, I have gained the knowledge and insight that positively impact my overall lifestyle, and I have learned insight of consistency of discipline and achieve this activity. About next, about the gaps, I can say that engage in activity learning strategy, such as creating a concept map, summarize information and teaching the topic, also understand the activity. And next, about action plan, I am grateful for the invaluable listen and excited to further explore the boundless possibility that fit and healthy lifestyle. And for conclusion of this topic is about overall participate in PEC 800 has been a transformative experience. Influenced my life in numerous way that I have learned, develop a deeper understanding of wellness management, and it can be used in long term. That's all for me.
Alright, hi, my name is Muhammad Shafi bin Zamri, and I'm going to continue with the reflection presentation. So for the first one is introduction. So PEC 800 Wellness Management is a university course that focuses on the principle and practices of fostering and sustaining overall well-being in individual and communities. It investigates ways for efficiently managing and increasing multiple elements of wellness, including physical, mental, emotional, and social dimension. So for the second one is personal report. So during the learning of the subject, student has been divided into 7 groups, and every group has been given one activity that they need to organize. All the activities are included high intensity interval training, Tabata, home workout, Zumba, yoga, mental health, first aid, and also nutrition. All the student has organized and participated really well in this weekly activity. Other than that, for the final project, all the students in the class need to perform a Zumba during a PEC carnival, and all the students has done really well during the PEC carnival. For the third one is reflection on teaching. So for me, during this activity, some of the organizer has been done really well, but the others are so for the third one, for the third one is reflection on action. So for me, during this activity, some of the organizer has done really well, but the others are not prepared well. So I think the organizer for the weekly activity need to be more prepared before they perform their performance. So for the final project, all the participants has done really well because they are give a full commitment for their training. So for the next question, reflection on teaching. So during the learning of the subject, the lecturer in charge has been explained detail for all the tasks that the student need to do, and so from that the student can do all the activity smoothly. So for the next one is connection. So for the connection, for me during the learning of this subject, I have learned a lot. For example, before this, I never conduct a Zumba activity, but in this subject, I need to do it. So from that, I learned to conduct a Zumba activity, and we need a lot of practice to make sure the movement is run smoothly. So for the next one is identification of any gap. So during the weekly activity, some of the groups are not prepared well during their weekly activity. So the performance of their weekly activity are not really well. So I think the student need to be more prepared to make sure the performance are smoothly. So for the next one is action plan. After learning this subject, it has helped a lot to improve myself in terms of physical and mental. For example, after participate in home workout activity, I can do all the workout at home because there is no equipment needed for the activity. And last but not least is conclusion. So the the purpose of the wellness management education is to provide students with the information skills and resources they need to design and implement effective wellness programs and initiatives. This include the understanding of how to assess individuals or communities. Other than that, evaluate their effects. So that's all from my reflection.
So, hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Anisaq. So, for the introduction, a description of PEC 800, this is simple, which is basically our mental health and our physical health. And for the personal report, what we did or what happened during our session or our classes. So for the first few weeks, that every group have to perform. They have been given assignment. So every group have to perform. For example, on the first week we learn Tabata, and then for the following week we learn about the home workout, yoga, Zumba, and, basically everything. And then a reflection on the action. For me, it was really good because I learned, for example, a new thing which is Tabata. Like in my life, I never did any Tabata, and then I did yoga. It was really good because it's exposure for ourselves for new experience. And then the next question is the reflection on teaching. So basically, we have been taught a lot of new things. For example, we never actually give attention to the mental health. So on a week 7, I think we all learn that how important is our mental health, and we have to look for this kind of thing. Like let's say one of our friends is have depression, but we don't know, so we have to ask them. For example, my friend Farhan, sometimes he really have that kind of thing, that kind of symptom. So we need to ask him like, what's going on in his life, and maybe we can help him. And then what's the following question? What is the connection? So basically, we all learn a lot of new things. Yoga, home workouts, for example, just like Shafiq say, he really did well in the home workout. He can do everything because there is no equipment needed, and he can do it in his home. So basically, there's a lot of things that we learn. And then the next question is identification of any case. Basically, a lot of group that been given the assignment, they really don't have they really didn't make any preparation. So it was basically they don't know what they were doing. For example, the group Zumba, which is our group, basically we didn't prepare for the Zumba, and we don't know what were we doing. So that's the problem that we have. And then for the next question is action plan. What are we gonna do in the future that we learn during our classes? So maybe we're gonna do the home workout if we don't want to go to the gym, and then we also can do the tabata, which is also a really good workout. And the most important one is the nutrition that we learn, so we can do in the future, so we all can be in a good shape because we learn a lot of thing about nutrition. And the last conclusion summary of the whole everything. So basically everyone in this group have like the best time of our life in this subject because we learn a lot of things: home workout, yoga, zumba, nutrition, mental health, first aid. So inshallah we're gonna do all of this in the future. So that's all from me. Next, Daniel.
All right, thank you, Zain. So for the introduction of PEC 800, so PEC 800 stands for Wellness Management. Wellness management encompasses physical and also mental health. Now, what we did during the PEC 800, we did a lot of things. We did Zumba, we did Tabata. Basically, we did physical activities and also mental activities. We did puzzles, we did drawings. Also, we did a first aid program where we learned how to medic. For the personal report, what they did. So just like I said, the first week we did Tabata, where we had to dance, following the rhythm of the music, and then we did home workout, where we basically we did push-ups, we did sit-ups, everything that related to workouts, and then our group conducted Zumba, where we had to dance for approximately 10 minutes, which was a success. And for the reflection on action, I think it's PEC 800 is really gave an positive impact to me and also to my friends. I mean, we met new people, new characters. I mean, we learned a lot from them. We didn't know that they had the knowledge to do all those sorts of activities, which was a surprise. And it also tests our management skills, our leadership skills, and also our time management skills, where we had to be punctual for every activity for class. Now, reflection on teaching. So the students have been taught of, you could say, just like I said, management skills. They need to manage their activity, what to bring, what to plan. The class is 2 hours, so they have to make properly plan the 2 hours to be filled with activities, no laying off, no wasting time. And for connections, I think the practice was really great. I mean, for the home workout, we really did our best, 30 seconds for each exercise. And then we had drawing. For the mental health, we had to draw, we had to compete with other people, we had to solve puzzles, memorize stuff. It was a very, very wholesome experience, which I could not forget. And for the identification of any gaps, the gaps, I could say the improvement would be punctuality. I mean, students need to be punctual because if they don't, then the time will be wasted, from 2 hours, and then the activity can become 1 hour and 30 minutes and so on and so forth. As for the action plan, I guess we could do all this activity with our families instead of friends, or we can, like, for example, for the mental health, instead of drawing, we can maybe play quiz or anything that can contribute to our mental health, that can boost our mental health. And as for the conclusion, I say that PEC 800 was very, very memorable, a great experience, and I think it really strengthened our bonds as friends and also help us understand each other better. Next, I will pass it to next.
Hello, madam. My name is Go Jun Shan, and so in this subject, I did many activities that related to wellness, such as the Zumba, the workout, and also the mental health, the games. So I believe that it has many benefits, and it will help me in the future. So from the activities, I think it was very well organized, but there are some aspects that should be improved first. So for reflection on action, and I think that students should have more time to plan and do the preparations for their activities. And for reflection in teaching, I learned that the important knowledge like first aid and also nutrition, which is very good because knowing those would save many lives and also maintain a very good healthy lifestyle. Um, if we have more time, the activities will be more impactful. I hope that this can be improved in the future. So the knowledge from this subject, I think, can be used at any time in the future, and we won't know when we will need this knowledge. So I can say that it helped me a lot, like meeting new friends, different characters. So to conclude, I think that it was very fun, very memorable, and a very informative subject. So that's all.
Okay je. Kita pause. Aku bagi link baru.
Hello, madam. My name is Muhammad Farhan Saini. And for the introduction of this reflection report, to simplify it, it refers to the practice of promoting and maintaining the well-being and overall health of individuals or a group of people. For personal report, we were given a report to do a Zumba. So I think it did pretty well, but I think some errors needed to be fixed. So for reflection on action, the report was good. It wasn't difficult or anything, but I really enjoy what we learned from this report and what others group have presented. As for reflection on teaching, I learned a lot about from this PCA 800. A lot about, for example, like Tabata and Zumba. And the next question is connection. And I think we can learn a lot from the previous group practices or performance, and we can actually use it for day-to-day life or lifestyle, I guess. As for identification of any gaps, I think there's a lot of fixes that needs to be done in each group. And overall, the performance was all right. I think it was okay, but I think it's better if we get a little bit more time to plan out for the activities. And for the action plan, I do think I will use some of the knowledge that I learned from these activities and might use it, for example, like home workout, etc., etc. As for conclusion, I think I think it's really helped, and it really brings out. It really helps in terms of physical and mental. That's all for me. we pass to the next presenter.
So thank you to Mr. Farhan. I am Muhammad Marsha, so I'll start first with the first question, which is the introduction. The subject PEC 800 focuses on promoting and enhancing individuals' overall well-being and quality of life, including a broad range of factors such as physical, spiritual, of health. For the next question, personal report. Through this personal report, I can reflect on my experience and learnings in this wellness subject, as well as the impact it had on my life, especially on the weekly activity that we. So moving on to the third question, a reflection on action. So this subjects involves putting theoretical knowledge into practice, actively participating in activities that promote well-being, and we as a student can reflect on the outcomes and on our personal growth that result from those actions. This can be said in our 8 weekly activities that we can heavily rely on. So for the next question, which is connection. Students have gained knowledge about the benefits of regular exercise, balanced diets, and sufficient rest. We have also been encouraged to make help for our long-term healthier lifestyle. So for the gaps, I can say that this subject need for a further I will say research on mental health and well-being, enhancing the understanding of mental health disorder and promoting mental well-being, and also addressing the stigma surrounding mental health should be a priority in this wellness education in the future maybe. So for the action that can be taken for future, um, I think that this study need for further explore on the impact of digital technologies on individuals' physical and mental well-being. This includes, we can say that we can examine on the effects of excessive or promoting digital wellness, because we can see that this era is rapid in the advancement of technology. So there's a need for further studies or research in this subject. So overall, for my conclusion, I can say that this subject has the potential to make a big impact on my life, and also in enhancing the overall quality of my well-being, my mental health, and also in promoting a good societies in the future. So that's all from my part. I'll pass it to the next speaker.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Andika Revato Agifari, and I want to present my reflection report. The first one is introduction. The PEC 800, which raised the subject of wellness, is defined to a long process to get a good life, positive thinking, optimal physical state, and psychological. In this subject, we are also taught to control and minimize external and internal factors in the form to disease or poor health condition. And then the next one is reflection on action. that I think all students took part in these activities on PEC 800 well. They tried to do their best to become instructors in setting an example for their friends. In my opinion, this can be said as a level of success in the learning process. And then the next one is reflection on teaching. That I learned a lot about PEC 800, of course, about knowledge of wellness from physical health, mental health, and others. It turns out that there are many ways that I don't know about, and then they are still related to maintaining health. In addition, the process of sharing knowledge is also carried out on not only with teachers but also with friends. And then the next is connections. I think there's a lot of delay in starting practice. In addition, in the implementation of all activities, there are still many who are not serious and don't listen to the instructor. Apart from that, the limit space with the number of students participating in the activity is also on evaluation for this subject. And then the next one is identification of any gaps. When we are not serious in carrying out these activities, then we will not get the maximum benefit from these activities. We also learn how to respect others people who are sharing knowledge with us. And then the last one is action plan. Maybe some activities that I think are very simple and useful for my daily activities. I can adapt it, and then I will apply to the knowledge that I got from PEC 800 so that I will get benefits in the future. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Siti Nur Arina. Today I would like to present about the reflection. Introduction. PEC 800 Wellness Management is a university course that focuses on the principle and practice of fostering and sustaining overall well-being individuals and communities. The second one is personal report. Report what they did or what happened. During learning this activity, the group have been given a task which is high intensity interval training, HIIT, Tabata, home workout, Zumba, yoga, mental health, first aid and nutrition. Every student organized and took part in the weekly activity exceptionally effectively. So the third one is about the reflection on action. Report what was good, bad, easy, difficult, successful, unsuccessful, compare and contrast experience. For me, during the conduct of weekly activities, some of the organizers have done a great job, but the others have not done a great job. In order to ensure that the weekly activity runs without a hitch, I believe the organizer must prepare thoroughly in advance. Next, reflection on teaching. Report of what students have been taught, description of what students know. During the class, our lecturer gave instruction very well about weekly activity. Next, connection. Evaluation of practice, drawing on knowledge and experience. For the connection, our group have conduct Zumba game. This is our first time conduct this game and we practice a lot of this. Next, action plan. Production of action plan for future learning and practice. Justification of action plan. After learning this subject, it helped me a lot to improve my confidence and my mental health. Lastly, conclusion, summary of situation and plan action. After I learned this subject, I want to take care of my health. I think that's all from me. Thank you.